What's up, everyone? Christian Duke, StrengthAddicts.com, MPC Strong, Kentucky. You are watching the first ever edition of Bluegrass Bodybuilding on Video, Episode 1. Before I jump into the action, a little bit of a backstory. Bluegrass Bodybuilding was initially going to be a podcast back December 2018. It was going to co-host myself and Jimmy Hornbeck, very generously backed by Blueprint Performance. They were going to build us a studio, buy us the equipment, pay us, promote it, all that fun stuff. Jimmy jumped, Blueprint jumped. I had set a date for January 15th for the first episode, and I was going to have guest co-hosts starting in February. And needless to say, it's Wednesday, May 22nd, no podcast. But nonetheless, I'm hoping this video series lights a little bit of a fire under me, and hopefully I get started. I feel like there's a little bit more pressure now because Two Scoops is on hiatus, or maybe ended, I don't know. I really hope that Corey and Ty come back. I certainly will tell you right off the bat, I cannot promise you that sort of consistency, whether on video or even podcasts, because, you know, I'm constantly covering shows around the country. I work for Gary Udit. I work for various companies in the industry. I also have my own career, so I just can't do it. But, you know, I might do a video a week. Video's a lot easier for me. You know, I could even do one a day sometimes, but in terms of a podcast or any kind of a steady show, maybe once a week, maybe once every other week, maybe once a month, I don't know. The first topic, though, that I said I'd discuss is finding the right sponsor. And all I want to say with that is that competitors are signing a lot of deals. A lot of these deals are for trivial amounts of money. That's to say, it's not paying their car note or their mortgage or keeping even the lights on. They're small amounts of money. Sometimes they include supplements or meals. But the reason that competitors do it, I believe, is because they want, on the one hand, some validation for all the time in the gym and all the meal preps and all the traveling to shows. They want something to show for it. So it doesn't matter if it's nominal money. It's just something. But the bigger reason I think that competitors sign these deals is because they want to work with companies that are going to push them forward, that are going to put them on pop-ups like Next Level Sports Nutrition does, that are going to put them on their walls like the Factory Gym does, that are going to make sure that they get guest posing appearances, that are going to make sure that press like MPC Strong Kentucky or RX Muscle or MD knows about them. You know what I mean? So the sponsors really do an awful lot for the competitor. I mean, if you think about it, the competitor is lending his or her name, his or her likeness, his or her friends and his or her coworkers and his or her friends and family and his or her significant other will now look at this company as quite possibly an extension of that person that they care and respect, and they're going to bring them business. Now, I know a lot of companies, they do have a legitimate beef in the sense that some competitors maybe don't post enough on social media or maybe don't do enough in-stores, don't do enough demos. So certainly there's a scale. You know, what the competitor gets and gives, what the promoter gets and gives, or excuse me, I should say the sponsor gets and gives. But we can talk about promoters too, because, you know, a lot of promoters like to put competitors on their posters. You know, they're getting more competitor entry fees and selling more booths and selling more tickets at the door. What's the competitor getting? I don't know, but we're not talking about that this episode. We're talking about sponsors and competitors, sponsors and sponsored athletes. Maybe down the road we'll talk about the difference between a sponsored athlete and an ambassador. There's a difference. But I just think that competitors need to get with sponsors that are going to do more than simply promote their businesses. They need to get with companies that are going to promote the athletes. And something else we can talk about down the road, we have so much to talk about. So I'm going to talk about a little bit of current events, but I'm going to talk more about education. I've been in the industry over 10 years, over 12 years really. There's a lot to be talked about, and there's a lot of information that I can impart on you. And to a lot of people, they might be like, what does this fat bald guy know? And one day I'll just be a bald guy. I won't be fat, but I know a lot. And the more you learn, the better off you will be, especially in this industry.